Hello everybody, this is Edward Salazar with JED Alliance. Today I'm going to show you what we have done to Putzmeister TK70 mounted on an Isuzu NRR. We added some very cool features, so hang around. We redid the whole unit. We refurbished the engine, we went to the hydraulics. Absolutely everything is perfect on this thing. We changed the hydraulic fan, we drained out all the oil, vacuumed it out, and made sure that no old oil was there because we flushed the hydraulic pump too. Additionally, we changed all the bearings, front, back, and agitator bearings. We replaced all the grease fittings, got all the cutting, the cutting ring, the wear plate, the cutting ring, the outlet bearing, inlet bearing, agitator bearings, agitator shaft, agitator paddles. The material cylinders have been replaced, as well as the piston cups. All of those things are brand new. Also, as you can see here, we resealed the switchover cylinders. All the grease lines are brand new. The hoses, as you can see, are brand new. The differential cylinders have been repacked, resealed. They're not leaking oil at all. Piston cups, again, have been replaced. We put a new grate on the water box, new oil, new hydraulic oil, new filters, new restriction gauge, new flow control, new accumulator gauge, new concrete pump gauge, new throttle cable, new side gauge, new temperature gauge. As you can see, control board has been completely redone. It was rusted, it was all messed up. We fixed it up and reconfigured it. We also had some cables that were not working properly, and now it works the way it's supposed to. We added this check valve here that allows this machine to work because it's going to the cold weather. So this machine needs to sustain some of the fuel in the system, in the fuel rack, before it drops back down to the tank. Because of the cold weather, it's just gonna go back to the tank, and every time you try to crank it in the morning, it's just gonna be that much more difficult. With this, the fuel doesn't get out of this portion of the hose, allowing for us to faster start. We got new oil, new filters. All of the cylinders in the engine have been compression tested. We got a new hose. We installed lights. It's got a water tank. It's got a fuel tank. So what did we do to it? Aesthetically, as you can see, it's perfect. It's 100% as it comes from the factory. This is a 2005 unit, but that doesn't really affect the fact that when you look at it, it looks like a brand new unit. The buyer of this machine is going to be a very happy camper. We installed lights up front and to the back on both sides. They're easily switched on from the panel control. It's going to have a wireless remote control. And then the bed, we basically did this by hand. The bed looked somewhat kind of like what this looks like, maybe way worse than that. It had concrete all over. It was a mess. So we wire wheeled it, and then we applied a chemical to burn it off, and then we applied this shining agent that has a little bit of sand in it, and we started buffing it by hand, buffing it. It was about 30 man-hours doing just this bed. Then the customer wanted an easy access. We built some steps for him, and he didn't want this thing bouncing every time he pumps because this is a TK70, so it's an extremely powerful machine. So he wanted to have some sort of support, so when he's pumping, the machine is not bouncing on the axles. So what we did is we designed this Outriggers. These Outriggers were not meant for this machine. However, it has the resistance, it has the strength to be able to hold the weight. As you can see here, we basically weld them and made them work. we made a hole on the bed, and they kind of came out. We built this little box made out of aluminum, and we got the lines through the back, so they wouldn't be hit in case that you put pipes or whatever here. You wouldn't hit them and obviously get an oil leak. Also, you got new hand valves for your agitator, and you got hand valves for your water pump. So we put a hydraulic pump on this water system. What this allows you to do is, if you go forward on it, you obviously push out, but if you go backwards, you can stand next to a lake and suck up the water from it, which is very, very, very efficient. That way you don't have to wait for somebody to come out and help you. You can just stop on the side of the road and get some water if you need to, out of a lake or out of any water body. Also, the Isuzu trucks don't come normally with big fuel tanks. They normally come with about 20 to 30 gallons. 20 to 30 gallons is not enough to feed this monster. So we had to redesign that too. So we got away with the fuel tank it had, and we built one, which is right there. This is an 80-gallon fuel tank. This is a monster. This thing will last all day, maybe 2 days, pumping full on at a high pressure in a long distance. So this will solve anybody's problem as far as longevity goes on a job site. What else I can tell you about this pump? It costed a lot of money to get it to this condition, but I think whoever buys it is gonna be extremely happy. We put on new LED lights, and as you see, this is the remote control for the Outrigger. So you can undo it. It's got a magnet on the back, and then you can take it with you. There's a cable. You can take it with you wherever you go, but normally you would stick it next to the machine just like this. That way, you know, you don't lose it, or maybe even cut the cable or cause some damage to it. I mean, if you're gonna erase the machine, might as well just do it right next to the machine so you know what you're doing, and so you don't also drive off with the Outriggers app. Maybe, you know, a careless operator would do something like that, where he will forget that the Outriggers are up and start running and maybe break them. So this is a good way to remember, because it's always kind of in front of you. Well, that's basically it for this machine. This machine can produce about 70 cubic yards per hour, and the water tank we put on this thing is about 130 gallon water tank, which is excellent. That can get you out of any trouble. Like if you need to, say for example, you plugged up or anything like that, you'll be able to get out of trouble with this monster. It's got a 12-foot bed, and it's easily accessible, as you can see. This is a beauty. This is definitely a beauty, and I hope you enjoyed it. Jeez, way tall, huh?
Yeah.
And you can, okay, perfect. So they're halfway electronic, halfway hydraulic.
Correct.
Okay. It always lowers one side first, or what?
Yeah, there's proportional valve in.
The water system. Look at all this. Very, very nice installation we did. We're running hot water and cold water on the system. The idea is, if this guy is working on freezing conditions, he can flush out the freezing water with a hot water system, and you don't have a bunch of lines hanging on the side or anything like that. It's very professionally made, so it looks even better, and trust me, it looks way better than what it looks from the factory. We really do care about quality and little details. That is a very important thing to us. All right, I hope you enjoy watching this video. Have a great day.